Let's talk about T.D. Jakes and his friendships. Forbidden friendships, according to the Bible. I seen his so-called response to the allegations of him being sexually involved with P. Diddy and some other people. And what I heard coming out of his mouth Sunday seemed like to me it was all designed to deflect attention, redeflect, however you want to do it. It was designed to bring the people back to him and put them on his side, because he had to know a lot of people start asking questions, circulating around the church and stuff like this. So he figured he gonna come out. They smart now. That's why I said in my previous video, them people are smart. They sit around and strategize all the time. They spend lots of money on big time strategies. They are forever educating themselves how to be slicksters. No doubt he met with his lawyers and they told him how to go about speaking. And this is the danger of putting yourself out there trying to be celebrity. He built his celebrity status off the church and God. Let's just be frank about that. T.D. Jakes rose to his main reason why he's a celebrity, he's famous, he's rich, is because of the Bible. That is what their entire empire is built on, the Bible. In most cases, misusing the Bible. People talk about how Carlton Pearson jump-started T.D. Jakes' career. If it wasn't for Carlton Pearson, people wouldn't know T.D. Jakes. All of them who uses God for a stepping stone are guilty of mishandling the Bible and abusing God. Ain't no way around. The Bible is clear. You don't handle this Bible, preachers or anybody, do anything for the Lord out of necessity or need. Or anything. Do this with a willing heart. Whatever you do for the Lord, do it with a willing heart. But a lot of people, just like in time past, the Bible has always been an easy avenue for money, to get rich. A lot of them people have, his daughters and a lot of people in the middle have education, very smart, college. And those are the people who are known for ripping people out, well-educated people, college people. Those are people who are good at robbing and stealing, conning people. This thing, the church was built and established with common people. Common people, common folks. What he said Sunday, you know, everything about him, his friendship, his doctrines, his body languages, speaks says speaks volume, and they speaks and says something totally different. You can come out and say whatever. People, preachers lie all the time. Don't be sidelined because he's a preacher. Preachers lie all the time. There's no shortage of lying preachers in the pulpits. T.D. Jakes put himself in that position, just like other well-known preachers. You running with the world. You keeping friendships with the world when the Bible clearly tells you not to. Pastors, bishops. Now, that's what I always say about them. You see, I seen now he want to make himself seem on the same level as people. We all dirty, where we all filthy, we all this, we all that. Well, y'all certainly don't act like it. Y'all certainly don't act like it when you're using the church and charge the people to come to y'all events and stuff like that. People spend buku. Y'all might not be charging for everything at the door tickets, but when they get there, they spend bukus of money. People spend it should never cost people that much to attend church functions. And nothing y'all do by way of the church should be designed to put money in y'all pocket, but that's exactly what it is. T.D. Jakes been running around here for years, holding forbidden friendships. Nobody that belongs to his church. That's why I tell you people to stop going to these celebrity churches. Stop going to these mega churches. These people, this is the only time they want to seem like they are part of the people, just like when they get in trouble, when the heat get on them. Well, we all dirty. I'm just like you. We all, no. You are just like me, but in ways, you're a pastor, you're a bishop. You are bound to these scriptures. You got to do more than just preach the doctrine, preach I preach the gospel. You don't preach the gospel. If your gospel is the message of inclusion like Carlton Pearson, you feel like there is many ways to Christ, then you sit around and smile in Oprah Winfrey face all the time. Tyler Perry laying hands on you. Everybody you deal with in your inner circle are celebrities. Long as they got money, long as they got a name, then they friends with you. But the Bible say completely different. Separate yourself. Friend with the world, you're an enemy to God. Ain't that what the Bible say, priest, pastor? It seems like y'all don't want to pay attention to scriptures like that. The doctrine of Christ is broad. After you preach the gospel, you got the entire doctrine of Christ you got to abide by and preach. You got to preach to the world. You got to stand on TV and preach to the world. Y'all preachers don't do that. Y'all don't want to preach to the world for fear of having to criticize the world, which is what the Bible is, what the preachers are called to do. No, you don't beat up on the world every time you, but sometimes you have to preach against the world. You put yourself in a position. Preachers put themselves in a position when you clearly disobeying the Bible. Then when the heat get on you, now you want, well, I never said I was perfect. I never did no. Tell Oprah Winfrey she been with her strange religion and living in sin with that man for 30-something years. How long do it take to be engaged? Tyler Perry. The Bible say, don't have no dealings with them. You money tied to wicked people. That book TJ put out a few years ago, a lot of people was upset about the stuff he said in the book. Outright going against the scriptures. Encouraging people, some along the line, sometimes you have to get in bed with people to get what you want. Encouraging people, Christian folk, to disobey God for selfish reasons. T.D. Jakes can get up there and say a flower's on the wall in the church, and his people gonna clap and they're gonna amen, and whatever they say come out of their mouth. Them people in a lot of ways they are bound. They can't help but to go along. They can't question anything. I think I heard something about a woman being kicked out of the church a few years back, just for asking about the tithing doctrine. She was kicked out of church for that, according to what I heard. I think it was one night in Bible study or something. She tried to ask, he got mad because I remember him a long time, a few years back, talking about the series on tithing. Like TD get frustrated very easily when people ask him stuff. You're a man of God. I've seen him on TV interviews, Larry King and stuff. TJ, you can tell when people ask him a question, he be like biting his nails and stuff, hoping that people don't ask him stuff to put it directly on the spot. But you got to be prepared for stuff like that. You people ought to be ashamed of yourself for sitting in the church under people that you really don't know. You can't question them about anything. And a lot of stuff you can question about is aligning with the Bible when you look at their life. How are you able to go against the scriptures and hold friendship with the world when the Bible clearly tells the believers not to be involved in the world? Be in the world, but not of the world. Have no dealings with the world. Separate yourself from the world. How do y'all go to churches and sit down with celebrity preachers and pastors and put yourself in a position where you can't question these people when you see stuff ain't right? You willingly putting yourself in a deceiving position. I wouldn't join nobody church just for to be associated with celebrities if my life depended on it. That's what a lot of you go to church for, just to be associated with worldly celebrities. Y'all are drawn in about this stuff. When you know ain't no holiness nowhere in that surrounding, no holiness. Everything they do goes against the scriptures. T.D. Jakes used the church in the pulpit for their selfish desire needs anytime they feel like it. Let somebody else want to come in church just to know about it and want to use the church for something and see if they have permission to use the church. Only they can use the church for their benefit. Meanwhile, going against the scriptures completely. What business does a church have cutting business, making business deals with soft drink companies and other companies? That's a church. The man is guilty by associating with the world. TDJ been running around here for years doing that, opening scene in the public with worldly folks. Then try to say, well, I'm just here doing it. You've been getting away with that crap for too long. Every time you in the past years, I've been watching TDJ for years and years. Every time the world, wherever the world at, he's seen to always pop up. You ain't preaching the gospel. I ain't seen no video nowhere you preaching the gospel to the world, folks. It's funny how you celebrity preachers want to administrate the gospel. You got to go to them to preach the gospel to them. You have to go to the celebrities and give them the gospel. But you ain't spending no time going to the common people preaching the gospel. You ain't going down on the streets downtown Dallas giving the gospel. You ain't going in the common folks' neighborhood preaching the gospel. Why y'all always, the common people got to come to church or they got to tune y'all in to hear the gospel. And then when you turn, you ain't preaching the gospel, because you preach the gospel, you will sit your daughter down. If you preach the gospel and stood on the gospel, you will put her husband back in his rightful place instead of putting him behind his wife. If you preach the gospel, you will stand on that type of stuff. Now you don't want to make the people feel bad, get them on this side. Y'all have to see through that mess. Body language says a lot. Take a lie to take the test. Somebody lying on you, take a lie to take the test. But rest assured, the man got lawyers and everybody out looking, trying to find out who may have. He don't want to say too much. Don't want to put himself in too big of a hole. But at the same time, rest assured, chances are he got lawyers out looking, trying to confiscate any type of evidence that might be out there against him. And you best believe, money talk, then come back a few years later. Well, see, I told y'all I was innocent. I wasn't good. That's what they do. The wicked does stuff like that. They're gonna claim to be innocent. A lot of them, they're gonna try to claim to be innocent. But at the same time, working behind the scenes, trying to clear stuff up however they can do it. What's your price? Then come back a few years later, they done pay somebody to retract what they said to them. They'll see, I told y'all I was innocent. Then they're going to eventually get all that money back in some, because the gullible people, gullible folks, going to buy into that mess.